What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another great episode of Live from the Bench. I'm the co-host GQ with the other co-host Boulevard. Wait, he's on. Sorry, he's on this side now.
I can't figure that shit out either. What is good?
We're gonna go into some Philadelphia Eagles because the Eagles just lost. They lost 2 straight, and I think we need to sit here and we're gonna discuss it a little bit. We're gonna talk about it. And I feel like we're gonna discuss it on multiple levels. Everybody's upset. It's justifiable, but we do need to get the guys a break. But we're gonna touch on everybody.
People are in a full-on panic like the season's over. I mean, let's be realistic. We can't say the season's over. There's still 4 games left, and we're tied for first. So stop panicking, y'all. Yeah. I know it looks bad. It's really bad. But it can get better. It can. You just gotta believe, I guess. I don't know. That's 100% is not going to help the team win, but you still got to hold your fort down. That's our squad, so we got to be supportive.
Absolutely.
Even in the bad weeks. We still got to be supportive. Let's hold it down for our boys.
Yeah. I mean, it may be dark at the moment, but things always get brighter as long as you keep your head up. It gets brighter. So
after the dawn or whatever.
So let's get into Eagles play calling because that's a big issue that Eagles are having.
Let us start with Brian Johnson. Please.
Brian Johnson. Yeah, let's talk about first off for the Eagles to have fans come to your training stand. They went to I don't know if you heard about this story. Fans actually stood outside the training complex. I forget what it's called. Can't remember. They had a sign. NovaCare. Yeah. They stood outside NovaCare. And they had a sign that says, "Run the damn ball." Ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, what a shocker.
They clearly acknowledged it because Nick Sirianni sent out coffee to those fans that were standing outside. Mind you, it was snowing. He still sent coffee out, but the ball wasn't run. So maybe Nick Sirianni acknowledged it, but Brian Johnson didn't.
No, they just acknowledged the people. They wasn't listening to the message. They was like, y'all seem cold. Here, have some drink. Have some warm drink. But what they didn't do was read the sign. They didn't read the sign. Only person that read the trash cans was one of the people on the trash cans. They're telling you the obvious shit. I don't even know the level of fandom those dudes had that were sitting out there. I don't know their knowledge of the sport. But, I mean, if Joe Schmo can see that they need to run the ball, there's probably a problem with them running the ball. They're just not doing it. They're not doing it effectively, and they're giving up on it too damn early. Getting too one-dimensional too damn fast.
Mm-hmm.
That don't help. Yeah. That don't help. The way the defense been playing. You got to be balanced. You have to be balanced. This is like rule number 1 of football. You have to run a balanced offense. If you can't establish a run, then you're going to be just throwing it all day, and they're just going to rush you and drop back, and they're just going to have their way with you. They're just going to suck the fuck out of you. That's what's going to happen. So you can't do that because that's bad strategy. You have to keep it balanced. Now you got 2.5 decent running backs. You got Swift. I guess you can make one of the other ones a half, Gainwell or Penny when he's actually out there. One of them is a half a running back. That's the point. You got 2.5 fucking running backs. You got an offense that tends to run, what is it called, a 12? 1 running back, 2 tight end. I can never remember which way that goes. But the one running back, tight end. Which, as far as I know, that's power running. That's a power formation. But they're not running the ball out of it. They're running dumbass screens and shit. That's not working. That is obviously not working. You know what might actually work? Running the ball. Maybe try that. Don't run dumbass tight end screens. You're not Kansas City. Stop that pretty shit. This is Philly. We are gritty. We hustle, we fight, we dominate the trenches. You have not been doing that these past couple weeks. Get back on your shit. Get back to what works for us. Stop trying to be everybody else. For that matter, What happened to our fucking offense? Period. Like, there's only like 3 people get the ball per game, really. There's like you're talking 3 players. Goddard when he's around, Smith, Brown. We have other people out there that are capable of catching the ball, that are capable of moving the ball forward. Maybe use them. Maybe put out more receivers on the field. If you're not going to be running at power, then open up the field. Use your receiver. Spread them out. Make their depth have to be challenged. You're not challenging the defense at all with that vanilla bullshit.
Preach.
Come on, man. There's 4 weeks left in the season. Get down to what works. And what works in the game of football is you dominate the trenches. That's what works. Past couple weeks, been getting bossed around in the trenches. Okay? We can't win that way. That's not how Philly does. That's not what we do. So let's get back to what we do. Let's smash quarterbacks. Let's hit people like our team doesn't seem to want to do lately. Let's actually get our shoulder pads into their chest and wrap them up. Let's do that. Get back to the fundamentals. We know,
hold on to the ball.
Who've been playing football 12 damn years and they're struggling out there to make tackles. How are you a linebacker at the pro level and can't make a goddamn tackle? How is that a thing? If you can't make a tackle, get the fuck off the field and get somebody out there that can. Shaquille Leonard, maybe? The fuck?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I
I'm
agree.
Dominating the conversation here.
Oh, no, not at all. I agree with you 100%. Because if you got a guy like Shaq Leonard, there is no reason whatsoever for you to be having a guy like Nolan Smith in coverage.
Like, what the fuck is that? What is that?
I'm watching Nolan Smith chasing a tight end,
that is enough to be
lost
right there. But
you lost already. I would never do that.
Using your players to the best of your skill.
Because if a Nolan Smith is on the field, he should be blitzing.
Yes.
If anything, I'd use him as a spy, maybe. He can spy a quarterback, but he's not guarding anybody. I let him spy, not letting him cover anybody.
You got him in coverage, you already lost. You
lost. Because that's not what you – and here's the thing. My problem with it is not because I don't think that he can cover. It's just not what he was doing all training camp. When you want to implement something like that, you put that on him from the beginning. Let him develop that skill. That's not what you guys put him out there. You said you're going to be an edge rusher. That's you. You're a rusher. So that's what he's going to do.
Right.
It's different if you have somebody like Hassan Reddick. Hassan Reddick can play all those linebackers. He can be the Mike Will or the Sam. That's because that's his skill set.
Yes.
But
he's not great in coverage either, but I'd rather want to see either of them in coverage for that matter. I was about to say I would. No, that's not what they're there for. Right there to rush the QB. Nolan Smith's there to rush the QB. They shouldn't be doing anything else. Stop trying to be pretty and get dirty.
And I'm going to say it. I thought Avonte Maddox was a liability until Avonte Maddox wasn't on the field. Now, here's my thing. I'd say I'd rather have Avonte Maddox, but I think the past 3 years Avonte Maddox has gone out and he's been injured and he lost time with the team. I think in the offseason, it's time to start looking for his replacement. Not because I don't think he's good. I think it's just time to start looking for his replacement.
Wait, who's your
Because Avonte Maddox.
Oh, God.
It's just that slot position has been a liability in Philadelphia for so long. Since Malcolm Jenkins left, the slot has been a liability. It's been a problem. So
slightly less so last year, but just slightly less so.
Yeah, just slightly less so because Avonte Maddox was there, and then C.J. Gardner-Johnson played a lot of slot.
Yes.
But I think when Gardner-Johnson left, because Gardner-Johnson was like, when he was at safety, he was like the lone safety. We didn't have much back there. So when he was stepping up in the slot, we had nobody back there. Now, Reed Blankenship's coming to his own. He's got to learn how to tackle. He's got to rep tackle and stop trying to tackle with his helmet. That's a big problem. But I think Sidney Brown is starting to come into his own as a tackler. He's probably
needs to see the field more. Reed Blankenship's actually leading the position as in Pro Bowl voting. Like I love that. But I mean, clearly y'all just not paying attention. If y'all think he's should be number one at safety, you're out your damn mind. Oh, okay.
He's gonna get exposed in the Pro Bowl. I'd say that. Well, it's flag football, so I don't know how much exposure he can really get.
Exposed to who? Ain't nobody gonna watch. Pro Bowl. Who gives a shit?
But
you don't even go to Hawaii no more.
That was where it stopped for me. I'm like, I remember the Pro Bowl games when they would be out on the beach. You'd have the legends out there playing volleyball on the beach or flag football on the beach.
To be the shit. The QB challenge every year. Yeah,
that was great. And then they started what bothered me about when they switched it was when they took people like Odell Beckham and Justin Jefferson and letting them throw the football. I don't want to see them throw the football. No. It's cool that these other guys have had that skill, but guess what? That's how it was in high school. Some of these guys played multiple positions in high school, so they probably have some type of arm talent. They're just not the arm talent.
I don't want to see them throw it. I don't care that they got an arm. Well, how is that? What is that going to matter that Odell Beckham can throw the ball in like a Pro Bowl or a scrimmage or something? What do I care?
Absolutely.
What difference is that really going to make? Like that possible one time he throws the ball in the season. Who cares? Mm-hmm. I'm not going to get my hopes up for that.
Yeah. And another thing about the offense, I think the play calling is really putting Jalen Hurts in a pickle because here's the thing. There's a lot of plays that are being called that are very drawn out routes that are putting too much pressure on this offensive line, which causes Jalen Hurts to actually have to sit in the pocket. And him having to sit in the pocket, he doesn't wait that long. Jalen Hurts doesn't wait that long. No. He's a takeoff kind of guy.
You can't wait that long. You wait that long, you're just waiting to get tackled. You got to get rid of the ball.
Exactly. Last year, the reason why
3.5 seconds to get rid of the ball. So like the fact that he's just sitting there holding it, not even trying to run as much, which I know he's not even running much. So clearly Brian Johnson is the problem. For one, he has no experience as an OC. None. He has no experience in situational football. He doesn't know how to set teams up to be burnt down the line. He doesn't know any of that. He doesn't know how to be creative. But as we can see, there's nothing going on in the playbook. As you said, it takes forever for a play to develop. That's not what works in football. Quick.
That's not Eagles football. That's not AJ Smith and Devontae.
Offense. You just want forward momentum. It doesn't matter how far the play goes. AJ, as long as the play's going downfield. Y'all ain't doing that.
The crazy thing is, AJ and Devontae's strength isn't downfield. It's getting the ball in their hands. That's where their skill is. That's where they're talented. Yes. You get the ball in AJ's hand on a quick play, he's making moves down the field. That guy, what was it that he led the league in yards after the catch? He led the league in yards after the catch. Why aren't we getting him the ball? Like the first 2 seconds, just hit him with that zig route he always doing, or that short cross route. Get that to him because last year he was trashing defenses because
one,
these DBs couldn't keep up with him, and two, he has that route running ability that leaves people in the dust. Devontae Smith, he has immaculately quick feet. So, and what I've noticed about him is he catches a lot of passes on these jump balls. But what I see a lot of is Jalen Hurts running out, and then he has to stop, and he's looking when that is also a problem. Whoever is the QB coach needs to sit down with him and say, hey, once you get out in that pocket, don't stop and start looking for the play, looking for a route. Just run. Yeah.
Just go with your first instinct. If they tell you to move, move. Tell you to take off, take off. The point is, we need to be moving downfield. We don't need to be coming to a stop in a red zone every time. Yeah. We don't need that. That don't win games.
Because another thing, I don't see any checkdowns
to change.
There's no checkdowns. Like if you watch down the field, the running backs when they come out of the pocket, they're not setting up for short routes. They're just going out of the field. I see nobody there. Then
Right.
running backs aren't helping with the blocks. There's like maybe one or two, like one guy will come in and on like a third of the plays that he's on the field, he's helping with blocking rushers, but there's not a lot of help in that backfield. And I think one of the things is Philadelphia needs to keep somebody on Jalen's ass, like a running back, like just always there. He needs a safety blanket that's always there to catch those short passes because these routes that they're running, they're too drawn out and they're too far down the field. You need, and that's why I always say I have this 3-3. I have a 3-3-5 offense mentality. First play, I want 3 yards. Second play, I want 3 yards. And that means because first and second down, you get at least 6 yards. 3-3-5. First play, I want 3 yards. Second play, I want 3 yards. That way, if I don't get my first 3 yards, let's say I get 1 or 2 on first down. Now I can decide, okay, I got to go for 3 again. Boom. I might get my 3, man. Now that's 4 yards right there.
Right.
4 or 5 yards. Now I got 5. I'll just run get me 5 more yards. That's the target. If I can't, because if you run in a 2010 or 2015-20 style, like that's what you're going for, you're calling up plays to get the big play every single time. You're not going to do anything.
You don't get the big play every single time. You're supposed to set the team up for the big play.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you want those DBs
no
to come
idea
up.
how to do that.
And you see a lot.
He doesn't do anything surprising. There's literally no motion on offense.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that they were saying in the game last week against the Cowboys. The offense in the middle of the field is open, and they said that Jalen Hurts is very successful throwing the ball in the middle of the field, but they don't throw the ball in the middle of the field.
Right.
Like they don't. They try to get the sideline all the time. It's always the sideline. They need to get that ball, get somebody, have the tight end, loop into the middle of the field. They're not getting it there. It's a lot of sideline passes because we're playing buddy ball with AJ, Devontae, and Dallas. It's time to stop the buddy ball and actually run some actual routes. Like get the ball to the middle of the field. Get it between the numbers because, for example, we got Dallas and their linebackers. A lot of their linebackers, a lot like Eagles linebackers. They're solid rushers, not solid. Ever since Van Der Esch left, they don't really have solid cover linebackers. Their linebackers are rushers. Besides Marquise Bell, who is actually a converted safety, but he's undersized. So what is the problem? I'm not under. Yeah, I feel as though
they don't even target weaknesses. So like they're not doing anything to gain advantages offensively.
It's like they're not even reading offensive.
Because they're constantly coming back on the field because the Eagles aren't strong enough for the past couple of weeks. Offensively, we've been short. So
like last year, they were blowing teams out last year. This year, we're not going to try.
They were throwing teams out earlier this season. They were kind of dominant. They were beating everybody in front of them. They were outplaying them, outworking them. They're not doing any of that now.
That was just I want to play behind in every single game. I want to play playing catch up.
It was that way. Every game is catch up. They had to catch up with us sometime. We can't be falling behind every single game and expect to win. You just can't. And there's one person responsible for that, and it ain't Jalen Hurts. It's been Brian Johnson. It's Brian Johnson.
Yeah, Brian Johnson.
He's the reason we're not playing the way we are capable of playing. He's the reason offensively. Defensively, I don't know. Maybe it's just the lack of talent. Maybe it's injuries.Maybe it's Sean Desai, who we didn't want to begin with. It could be all three.
Yeah, I think.
Don't know.
I'm honest with you. I think it is. I'm gonna chalk it up, and I'm gonna say because I was excited. I was only happy about the Sean Desai because I like that we were getting another coach like us, but I didn't. It was ultimately it was one of those situations where I had to say they probably should have either did more to keep Denard Wilson because that guy was sitting there. Denard Wilson,
But
he
he
was the
wouldn't
Eagles
have
DB's coach
he
last year.
necessarily wouldn't have been any better. He has probably about as much experience calling defenses as the side does.
True,
And he
but
would have had the same defense, so I don't think it would have made much
well,
difference because the defense is
I
bad.
think so. I think he could have been an improvement only because there was some continuity there.
Yeah,
He did well with those defensive backs. He probably would have had some continuity. They had to learn from a whole new defensive system essentially because their defensive coach left and their whole system was kind of just went to the haywire because they lost both their starting linebackers. I don't even remember who it was. And then
useless as they were, because
yeah,
it's the last time we had good linebackers, really.
yeah,
How?
it's been a while.
Yeah.
I can't remember the last good. I think the last time we had a good linebacker. Thinking because it hasn't been a while. It's been a while
Right.
since we had like a
Trotter?
linebacker who I can remember. Trotter is the last
Trotter?
good linebacker I can think of. I can't
Yeah.
unless you. Let me see. Who was the linebackers in 2017?
I don't know. 26 years ago.
Yeah. Wow, says a lot about where we are
Yes.
today.
Mhm.
And here we are. Like this isn't a Super Bowl team this year, and unfortunately, just because of those two people, and it's not like we don't have a great roster. We have a roster that on paper should be better than what it is.
Exactly. And that tends to be on the coaching. That's on the coaching.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
They're not getting the most out of the talent that they have. And the next man up isn't really stepping up due to some injuries. That defense, they better invest in linebackers hard in the offseason. They better do 100%. Something to bring some talent in at linebacker. They got to fix that secondary. They got to fix that linebacker position. And we're going to have to replace some old retired dudes.
Yes, 100%. But one thing, and I've noticed about Howie Roseman, and I feel like it's something that has to be addressed this year. He's always admitted that safety and linebacker were always his scouting weak spot. So I've always wondered to myself, like, if that's a problem that you have, you can admit that you have that problem, which is awesome. I mean, you want to be. It's very admirable for somebody to sit there and say, I know what my problem is. I know where my weakness is. But here's the thing: if you know you have a weakness, this is why you delegate. This is why you're an executive vice president. You go out there and find somebody, and you say, "Hey, my weakness is linebacker and safety. What can you help me with?
If
How
you
can
know
you
your
help me
weaknesses,
better this position?
You can fix them or help get somebody else to fill your weaknesses with their strengths.
100%.
Maybe find somebody that balances you out, like anything in life.
Like, for example, on Live from the Bench, I can talk all day because I talk too goddamn much. But when it comes to like figuring out what's going to go on the show, I'm clueless because I don't pay attention to anything. I'm not really, my head is in the clouds half the day. So Boulevard's the guy.
Sports.
Boulevard has the knowledge. He has the brain. And then that's where it is. I got the, they say Boulevard's got the face for radio. Good thing I look nice.
No, they don't. Fuck you. You the ugly one. You look like your daddy. Yeah. I'm handsome. I'm gorgeous.
But see, that's just it. It's like you got to compliment each other. You got to compliment each other, and you got to sit down. And I'm so surprised that Nick Sirianni hasn't been like, because we know Nick Sirianni. He got on John Gannon's ass last year. He got on John Gannon's ass. Why hasn't he gotten anybody's ass now?
Maybe he has. He just don't give a shit. Maybe they just don't care. Maybe he don't care. Maybe he's too complacent. I don't know. The changes need to be made, and they need to be made fast because time is running out on this season. And I'm not
Mhm.
saying we could fall all the way to the wild card, but no, we're not going to do that. We're still going to get that 1 seed. We have to. Otherwise, we're out early. The way this team's playing, if we're not at home, we're screwed. We got to get that
100%.
home for the playoffs. We can't go to San Fran, we'll lose. Can't go to Dallas, we'll lose. Dallas is undefeated.
It has
at
to
home.
go home.
Can't go
Has
to
to be
Detroit,
home.
we'll lose. Yeah, so we have to get the home game. We have to get home field advantage, or we're out early. And then we'll all be calling for somebody's head like we're doing now. And we'll be calling for Nick's. And I don't think Nick's the problem. I think Nick needs to step up and be responsible and accountable for all these people that he employs because they're fucking up. And you can't say, yeah, I accept responsibility for all this and continue to not do anything. You can't keep doing that week after week. You have to fix it. People are sitting here calling for your head on a pike because we've been blown out 2 weeks in a row. That can't be. We have a negative point differential of minus 43 in December. It's the second week of December. This is bad.
And I'll say this: the only teams in the NFC that I'm honestly worried about. Well, I mean, Detroit, they are a threat, but I see 49ers losing one game. Like I see 49ers losing at least one game in this 4-game stretch. I see Dallas losing 2 at least. Philly has to at least win 3. If Philly fails to win 3, then I'll say that.
How about 2? If they win 2, would you be satisfied?
No. Well, I'll be satisfied if we win 1. But I feel as though if the Eagles don't win 2, if they win less than 2 or 3, a coordinator has to go. One of the coordinators has to go, if not both. If this was up to me,
they both have to go.
Yeah, if it was up to me, I'd let them both go.
Yeah, but obviously you can't do it right now, despite the fact that they deserve to be, especially the side deserves to be fired right now, like immediately. You can't do it now because then you'd have to start a whole new thing. You'd have to start rebuilding pieces and system, and you can't do that in the season. So you can't fire the DC because that's giving up on the season. But he's gone after the season. There's no way in hell we have Sean Desai back, even with a Super Bowl. There's no way.
Exactly.
There's no way Johnson's back. Johnson may not even get another job in the league with the performance he's been putting up. So he may end up back in high school or something because he's fucking up. He's not showing that he has the skill to call plays, to get an offense to put up 30. He's not even showing us that. Did we even get 3 touchdowns the past couple weeks per game? No, exactly. If you can't score 21 as an offense because of the play call, clearly because of the inept-ass play calling. So they did score 21?
I think we got on touchdowns because I think in 49ers we got 1 with Jalen Hurts, the tushy pushy. I think Jalen Hurts, and then against Dallas, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think there was still like a late game rush or something, whatever. Regardless, the team ain't scoring enough points to win. And the defense is allowing too many points to win.
Yeah.
Both of these need to be fixed.
So, just to play a little devil's advocate, I guess, if we were to see a termination of OC and DC, who would you look for to replace those guys? Who's out there that you'd be like, I take you?
Probably a lot of people. I can't really think of anybody offhand, but I'm sure there's a bunch. Maybe somebody with experience in a modern offense.
I don't know. Somebody who I would go with, the guy who's recently was let go and as the OC. Somebody that I'd look into. I like Ken Dorsey.
Maybe somebody out
I
of
look at Ken
Shanahan's
Dorsey.
system.
Shanahan. I would look at Ken Dorsey. I mean, yeah,
It's really just like a lateral step for him, ain't it? He should be interviewing for head coach jobs after the season.
Ken Dorsey.
Yeah,
I mean, he was fired, but
he'll still
I don't.
he'll
Yeah,
get
I don't.
interviews.
Yeah, I don't think he was necessarily a problem. Also, another guy I think who is probably he's a shit head coach. We have to it's about time we accept it. Frank Reich is a horrible head coach. However, I
Obviously,
don't see a problem with him returning to Philly. I feel like he has something he can return to Philly. I wouldn't mind
and
seeing
that
him
offense didn't show much down there. He couldn't make much out of the first pick in the draft. I don't know. I don't believe in Frank Reich. I really don't. I don't believe he's the guy. I don't know. I'd even look at college to get somebody else who at least has experience calling plays in college. That would still be an upgrade over what we got now.
I mean, I think there's a lot of young coaches in college right now who are just they're up and coming and really potentially great. There are a lot of it. So I think they should start. Look, I think, yeah, why not bring in a young guy? I mean, that's where it's headed. That's the way it's trending. All these coaches are just younger and younger and younger, right around our age group. And I'm just like, God dang, this is what I could be doing right now. But it's like these guys are just trending and trending on the younger side. Hey, why not? Why not hire one of these head coaches for these colleges that's like what 3 years removed from playing ball?
Yeah.
I mean, Antonio Pierce, he's probably not going to get the head coaching position just because I feel like Oakland's going to want to make a splash at the head coach position.
No,
I mean, there's a chance, but I mean, just with his goal and his ability to rally that defense in Oakland, I mean, that's enough for him to be considered for a lot of different positions, if not a head coaching position, definitely in the OC position.
right.
I mean, DC position. There's a lot of guys out there who just, I mean, I definitely consider looking at guys who played the game for quite a bit. I look at Brian Johnson, who he played for the Eagles before he got put on the staff, but again, he played practice squad. I don't think he had much game.
I don't even remember him.
Yeah, so I say it's like I'd look at people who, if you want to look at former players to make an OC, you look at guys who've been doing it for a while, who played the game for a while. I look at coaches who have been coaching and like you said, with some play calling experience, because I've always had a problem with people who calling plays who've never done it. I've always had a problem with coaches who have never called plays just coming out calling plays. I never really liked that.
Right. We don't have a team for a learning curve.
Yeah.
At that spot. No.
So I think that's something. And I think today Nick Sirianni should at least take over some bit of the play calling. I've seen it happen before.
Please do.
It's a lot of things that need to happen. And if I'm going to hire somebody, but that's just me playing devil's advocate. There's still a strong chance that they don't fire either guy. There's still a strong chance. I mean, because we were calling for Josh Gannon head the year they made it to the Super Bowl, in the year before and the year we made it to
the game, still calling for his head.
We was calling for his head, and we didn't even make the Super Bowl yet. We got to the Super Bowl, and we were still calling for his head.
Mm-hmm. That's why we're the most annoying fan base. At least that's according to some anonymous poll on The Athletic.
You know what? I own it. Fuck it. Why not? I'm the worst.
Yeah. Let me get into this for a second. This player poll. The Athletic did an anonymous player poll. The best player was obviously Patty Mahomes. The biggest trash talker was C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Best coach to play for was Mike Tomlin. Most underrated, T. Higgins. I probably agree. Best stadium, Arrowhead. Bullshit. Worst stadium, MetLife. Most annoying fan base, woo woo, Eagles. And they rated the officiating on a 1 to 10 about 5.02. All right, now back to the subject at hand.
Wait,
had it on
officiate.
screen. Yeah.
The officials
on a 1 to
this
10.
year.
5.
No, I'll give the officials a 2 this year. Their calling has been egregious. It's bad.
It's been bad for years, but it's really
missing
bad.
Missing calls,
obvious calls, and the way they messed with Tony, the way they did Tony, is dirty. Like they set him up. They set that man up. He was running the same spot on numerous plays that game, and it wasn't until there was under a minute that they flagged him for it. They set him up.
And another thing is with the tush push, right? Mm-hmm. So Landon Dickerson is called for this tush push. He's called offsides for this tush push because they're saying that his hand is across the ball. That's not his hand. Jason Kelce has said, "I go into the 4-point stance." I don't know how many times I've talked about this. I don't even know how many times other people have mentioned it. People calling games have mentioned that that is Jason Kelce's hand.
Right.
Landon Dickerson.
The referees are blatantly fucking up because they're blind.
Yeah. Because they're not paying attention. If you look, Jason Kelce goes in a 4-point stance. They're not paying attention. They just want to call that call. And it's really bad. And it's like no one is actually looking at that film to say, because we go back, we look at film. Are the referees doing the same? I heard that they look at film, but how much are you looking at film as if you're still making the same mistake? Because I wouldn't be surprised if Jason Kelce goes to the league office and say, "Hey, that is my hand. Stop making that call. It's my hand. It's not Landon."
I think the league office is sending them the message to not make these calls or something. Because it's too deliberate. It's too intentional.
Mm-hmm.
Like if we can see it at home and they're on the field looking right at it and they can't tell, or they're acting as if they can't tell, it may be intentional. It might be personal or purposely.
Yeah. Well, I hope that something shakes up and gets better before we get into the playoffs, because if it doesn't, Eagles is looking at a quick exit, even if we got the first round bye. They're looking at a quick exit if things don't change.
Right.
And it's about to start getting colder. Run the ball. Just run it. It's no reason for y'all to do anything else. It's December. Let these guys warm up. Let them block. Let them be physical. This is Eagles football. Eagles football is physical. AJ Brown is
physical. Yes.
Physical. And if you're not going to do that, you might as well just go ahead and hang it up. Get done.
Right.
We're going to have to look for another team to root for. And I say if Eagles go, I'm going to root for the Lions and the Dolphins in the Super Bowl because I want to see something different.
I may slide to the Ravens if the Eagles get eliminated.
But
there's 9 scenarios where they get in.
Mm-hmm.
There are 9 possible scenarios that the Eagles get a playoff berth.
My prediction still to this day is Eagles, Ravens in the Super Bowl.
I would love that.
Yeah. And the Eagles win by 30 points.
Scenario 1, obviously, Eagles win or tie and they're in. Number 2, Packers lose, Falcons lose, Rams lose. 3, Packers, Falcons lose, tie, Niners win, tie, and Lions win. Bucks lose, this is 4, Bucks lose, and Vikings lose or tie, and Rams lose or tie. Bucks lose, Packers lose or tie, Niners win or tie, and Lions win. Number 6, Vikings lose or tie, and Falcons lose or tie, and Rams lose or tie. Are y'all following me? Because I'm not. Vikings lose or tie, 7. Vikings lose or tie, and Falcons lose or tie, and Niners win or tie, and Lions win. Number 8, Packers, Bucks tie, and Rams lose or tie. Number 9, Bueller. Packers, Buccaneers tie, and Niners win or tie, and Lions win. So, yeah, if anybody can actually remember what I just said off of the screen, congratulations, but those are the 9 scenarios. Best case is we win.
Best case is we win, Dallas loses.
Yeah, let's not rely on any of that other nonsense. Let's go out there, run the ball, dominate the trenches, hit the QB, and get the win.
Yeah, I want 36 in the next 4 games. And he'll handle that Philly.
I'd be happy with 10. Just get some damn
Yeah.
pressure on them, make them uncomfortable. At least do that much, because y'all ain't been doing that at all.
Yeah.
So let's do that much. Welcome to the team, Shaquille Leonard. Better be fucking effective.
And
we in for health. We ain't bring you in for our health. We ain't bring you in to get you a jersey and a freebie Super Bowl wing. No. You're going to have to earn your keep here, just like everybody else on that field. So get out there, put your helmet in somebody's chest.
Yes, indeed. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say this. If you haven't subscribed, why haven't you subscribed or liked already? You should already be doing these things.
Yes.
Well, like us on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube.
Yes.
And every other platform that we have going on. We're on TikTok. That's so cool. Look here. You see right here. We're right here. Oh, wait, you can't see it. Wait, right here? No, right here.
It's over there.
I got all our links right here. I got our links right here.
Yeah.
You can go right to our Discord. We talk. I will respond. Instagram, Twitter, Spotify. We will start reposting on there once I figure out what Spotify's problem is. Yeah. And to that I say, we all can't be starters. N'Kobe Dean. Hit the bench. Oh, I'm sorry. I took your line.
Well, if you want to say it with some emphasis. Put some emphasis on that shit.
Okay. Hold on 1 second. No. It sounds better when you say it.
Hit the bench.
Oh, shit, son.